I am Deidré Wallace, a relationship and corporate therapist. The clue is always in the gaze. Point 6. Guilty as charged. I was disobedient and naughty, and I didn't do what you told me to do. My clients sometimes reported drastic events and accidents that had occurred in their childhoods that they felt or were held responsible for. Some clients reported feeling it really was their fault for not taking proper care of a sibling, thereby causing an accident leading, in some cases, to a sibling's death. The reaction of some parents to an accident such as this, or to any serious occurrence, can add to a child's feeling of guilt and shame, especially if it really was their fault for causing the accident. Yet children don't always understand the responsibility laid on their very young shoulders, which is why some may conclude that parents should never place responsibility on children to look after one another. However, sometimes this isn't always possible, and parents often do have to rely on their older children to care for the younger ones. Sadly, the guilt and shame can be long-lasting, especially if a child feels the blame and anger from a parent, especially if they withdrew emotionally due to a loss. Indeed, many marriages don't survive a child's death, and the emotional impact on the other siblings is often to blame themselves for their parents' marriage breakup as well. And they can also feel abandoned or rejected, especially whilst a parent or parents grieve for the lost sibling. Guilt and shame can, of course, arise from small things and not just drastic events. However, if not checked, a child can take these feelings of blame into adulthood, where they may act them out. Sadly, some even do things to receive punishment by getting themselves jailed, put in prison. They may also get involved in gangs, take drugs, drink heavily, and resort to violence. All so they can finally get the punishment they feel they so deserved all those years ago. Mostly the behavior is unconscious, especially if parents didn't fully understand what the emotional and long-lasting impact can be on a child. Also, if parents use destructive and draconian punishment methods, this could remind a child that they are indeed bad, and they may even begin to believe that they really do need strict and rigorous punishments. This is why they may go on to use the same harsh methods to punish their own children. Punishment, if not understood or explained, can make a child feel that they are indeed bad, which can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and as a result, they can become more likely to repeat the bad behavior, if internalized, even into adulthood. And often violence, domestic violence, abuse, sexual abuse, addictions, and so on, often arise from childhood emotional or physical abandonment that can create deep shame, sadness leading to anger and a need for revenge that paradoxically often leads to punishment. Prisons are full of people being punished. Others just do it to themselves daily, either by various self-harm methods or the choices they make. Only recently did I hear Virginia McCullough, who was jailed for 36 years in Britain for murdering her parents due to the shame she felt having racked up serious gambling debts and having used her parents' credit cards to do so, say that she felt utter relief now that she could finally admit to the heinous deed she had committed. One wonders what happened in her childhood and what sort of relationship she had with her parents that caused her to gamble and then to carry out the murders to hide her shame. Sadly, too, some of my clients reported that comparison to other people, underlined by social media and especially Instagram, that portrays lives that seem full of what we don't have and indeed may desire, can, in a moment of weakness, cause them to steal or commit fraud. Instead of feeling filled, they felt an emptiness, which can then get replaced with guilt and more shame as people live terrified of being caught or possibly hoping to be caught so the deep unworthiness can finally get punished. But what happens in childhood doesn't always have to result in adults choosing a destructive path. However, what we feel deep within can have lasting effects until we learn to dig deep so we can end the self-sabotaging behavior or habits we learned early on. So back to you. How does this information affect you? How do you relate to it? Did anything awful happen in your childhood that caused you feelings of shame or guilt? Did anything happen recently that has triggered these feelings? Also, have you let things get out of control? Are you feeling guilt or shame? Have you put your head in the sand? Are you avoiding the inevitable? Have you been hoping to get away with things? Start by making a list of what you may be hiding. Then tick each one off as you deal or face each issue. Via this video series, I therefore encourage you to start a journal so you can write down what you have learned about yourself. This may help you understand yourself and your knee-jerk reactions a lot better. And please comment or subscribe to my channel if you wish to learn more. Thank you.